Hey, welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, we're going to be mounting some Atlas Portawalls on some 16-inch Steelies and tires. I know if you guys watch the channel, you see a lot of my builds. I do a lot of either Steelies with whitewall combinations, and to save money, I do a lot of whitewall inserts. So there is a lot of talk on whether or not whitewall inserts work, whether or not they're good, if they're cheap, they're crap, do they look right. So if installed properly, they look amazing. You can't really tell unless you get really right up on it. And actually, even if you are right up on it, you can't tell unless somebody points it out or if you know what to look for. If I mentioned on a lot of my other episodes, I do wheel and tire combos, and most of my average customers think that these are real whitewalls when they see a lot of my wheel tire packages. They're like, oh, I want real whitewalls like what was on such and such car, and I'm like, oh, those were inserts. But of course I installed them myself. So I'm going to show you some of the tricks of the trade on how to install them properly. And it's not only how to install them, but what tires to use. So let's get started first on what tires to use. Number one, tires. So where the wheel seats on the bead, you want it to be as flat as possible. Some tires have what's known as a rim guard, and that's going to be in this area right here. So since the insert sits here, you need it to be flat and flush so that it's not being raised or pushed up. Otherwise you'll have a wavy bacon look, or it'll be pushed out. I'll show you what a rim guard looks like if you don't know what it looks like. So pretty much all low profile tires have what's known as a rim guard, and it's this curved area here. So when your rim sits, gets mounted and beaded, a lot of times this rim guard sits beyond the lip of the wheel and acts as that, a guard. For curb rash, it doesn't really work if you hit it hard, but it's supposed to prevent some curb rash, and that's why they call it a rim guard. So almost all low profile tires have rim guards. Some taller sidewall tires have a rim guard. So if you are going to use the whitewall inserts, you have to make sure there is no rim guard. If there's a rim guard, the whitewall insert will not sit flat, and you're going to have issues. So you have to ensure whatever tire you're going to get, there is no rim guard. So that's rule number one. Rule number two, whenever you're mounting tires, you've seen at the tire shops, they lube them up with some sort of either blue liquid or some sort of lubricant. So you want to kind of keep them as dry as possible. Reason being is when you go to put the whitewall insert in, you air it up, it's going to squirt out of there just like greasy chicken. So you don't want to add too much of this when beading your tire. Just enough to get it on. A lot of times, especially with taller sidewall tires, you don't really need much of this. You could just toss the tire on there. So limit how much tire lube you use, and that should keep the rubber basically nice and grippy and not slippery, so that when you air it up, it stays seated where you put it. Number three, get yourself a white rubber mallet, not a black one, because you are going to hit the whitewall insert just to basically fine tune it and get it to look right. And if you use black, of course, it's going to cause black scuff marks on the whitewall insert. So you want a white rubber mallet. So let's get our first wheel up here and start mounting them. Just making sure they're non-directional. And first one's on. Get a valve stem in there and toss the insert in. All right, just sit the insert in around the rim. And we're gonna try and beat it up. If not, we'll use the bazooka. All right, we'll use a bazooka. So at this point, you're going to take your rubber mallet, hit it whatever direction you want. Mine seated too far in, so I'm going to hit it towards me to bring it out. And then I'm going to try not to break the bead. And then when you're airing it up, just watch that your insert stays even all the way around and it's not sliding out. And that's it for this one. But either way, you can see it looks amazing. Doesn't pucker up or anything. Looks real good. I got a late start today, and let's get these other ones up tomorrow. This way you can see it better in the light. But it goes really fast. As you can see, I got this one done maybe like 5 minutes. So let's get the other 3 done tomorrow. I'll show you them on with caps and some good lighting, and then we'll get them on the truck. These are going on the 58 Apache. I had 15s on it, so I upgraded to 16s. These are another set that I did. These are the original 58 Apache. These are another set of original 58 Apache 16s. If you know anything about the original Chevy 16s, most of them are super narrow, so I did widen them. This way they don't have that super skinny look. So these are widened and then freshly powder coated. So tomorrow we'll get the other 3 up, and then this way you can see it better in daylight. All right, I'll see you in 2 minutes. All right, so I got the one tire done yesterday. Like I said, I started late. Let's get the other 3 done, and then I'll show you a close-up on all of them. Like I said, the white wall insert comes out really nice. It fits nice and tight to it. You can't even tell it's not true white wall. But let's get the other 3 done. Toss the valve stem in, put the white wall insert in. And then take your time, make sure you get it centered as much as possible. Grab your mallet, work the white wall the way you need it. Over here it's perfect. Over here it's tucked in too much, so I'm going to hit it towards me without trying to break the bead. And then over here, if you can see, it actually is sitting up. It has a curve to it, so you want to smack that down. You can see it sits flat. And at this point, I only have like maybe 4 or 5 PSI in the tire. So you just want to have enough pressure in there to hold the bead and work it. Don't fill it up all the way. This point looks good to me. I'm gonna fill it up all the way. When you're filling it, just watch and make sure that the insert doesn't try and slide out on you. All right, so that's pretty much done. I'll take it off of here. I only have about 20 PSI. I like to put it on the floor so the full tire is sitting on the floor, and then basically seat it a little bit more and fill it up the rest of the way. So I'm going to drop the pressure down a little bit. I'm just going to go through, make sure it's sitting nice, and fill it back up. All right, again, perfectly flat all the way around, no raised areas, looks good. Two more to go. So it's a perfect example of the insert popping out. So all you have to do, let the air out, and we'll put it back in. The reason that one happened is when it's beading, it popped, so it shot it out. And then since it's fully beaded, I'm just going to take it off and do it on the ground. So I'll do it right in front of you. You can see basically it goes right in. Just light taps, because I'm not trying to break the bead, but I'm trying to work this back in. If it doesn't, worst case scenario, you do have to break the bead. So on this one, I am going to break the bead right here, push it back in, and then we'll go from there. right, that looks good. So I do have the valve stem out, so I'm gonna, it's all beaded and everything, it will hold its place, but I'm gonna let the air out, put the valve stem, the needle in the valve stem. I'll put the needle in the valve stem and then we'll air it back up. I'm just gonna adjust it a little bit more, make sure it's perfect. And that should be good. The other thing, you guys might wonder why I'm using these versus the bar that comes with this that goes all the way around, is it's pretty much touchless. I'm not grinding anything around the lip. These are powder coated, so they won't really scratch, but it's my OCD. I hate grinding anything around the lip. You can pretty much fit these on and use these soft touch bars to pry the tires over them without having to scratch up your wheels. Alright, last one done. Again, edges are nice and tight against the tire. You know, nothing's hanging up. So let's clean them up and I'll give you a close-up. All right, as you see me do before, Wesley's a white wall cleaner or Black Magic white wall cleaner and a scouring pad or hard bristle brush to clean white walls. Things are super crispy white. Let's dry them off and put some armor on. Let me give you a close-up on the wheels. As you can see, they're really clean. All the white wall inserts fit super tight and flush to the tire. Nothing's gapped or anything like that. They're all symmetrical. Like I said, you really can't tell if you get on them. I think the only thing that would give away is, you know, the lettering on the tire ending and diving off into the white wall. On some of them, they kind of look cool because, like this one, you have like an edge here that runs parallel to the white wall. So it's reminiscent of some of the older bias plies that did have like, how would you say, you know, some had like pie crust, but some of them did have like steps in either a black wall or a white wall to add more of a 3D effect around the white wall. But again, they came out really clean. They look really nice. So let's wrap this up. All right, so it came out really clean. As you see on the close-up, they're beautiful. At this distance and even close-up, you really can't tell. And durability, I've ran these on tons of vehicles. I've never had any of the horror stories you hear of, oh, one of the inserts flew out, or oh, they yellowed too much. Honestly, a lot of the newer wide whites, they're on the market from a lot of name brands. I've bought some for either cars that I built because of customers' request, or I've seen, you know, friends and stuff like that buy them, and there's been major yellowing, even cracking issues. These I've never really had any issues with. Just some people have a bad connotation of them, but again, that really goes down to install, selecting the right tire that's going to work with it, and actually making sure that they're seated properly when you're installing them. Other than that, they're pretty much going to last the lifetime of the tire that you mount them on. And like I said, they look great. The other bonus is cost saving. Current radial white walls with current inflation, before inflation, I mean, you could pick up radial white walls high 190 something, so you figure about 200 and change to 300, maybe 400 each. Right now you're really looking at about 300 to maybe 500 each, depending on which tire size you're selecting. These, it's not a race vehicle, it's not a high performance vehicle, so I went with your cheapest brand radials in the size that I want it. So I'm looking at roughly about $60 each tire, and the inserts $15 each tire. So you're looking at about $75 each tire. So you do the math, at $300 total, I'm into this less than what it would cost to buy one of the real Whitewall tires. If you're building a patina car, if you know, unless you're going Barrett Jackson or Riddler, you know, something prestigious, and you're just an everyday cruiser, enjoy your car, weekend cruiser, this is honestly the way to go. I mean, you have a real true radial tire that's not going to give you any issues. Again, some of these high-end, high-dollar radial tires are re-engineered, meaning they're taking one of these tires off of the shelf and either vulcanizing a Whitewall on it or doing something else to it, which means that it's not true DOT approved unaltered. So it's already being messed with and you're paying a higher premium for it. Whereas this is truly unaltered and you're just putting an insert in there and saving a lot of money. So I hope this video was educational for you, and I hope that it broke some of the negative stereotypes that the Atlas inserts do have with them. That's the other thing. I've only run and recommend the Atlas brand inserts. They are a true pliable, nice grade rubber. There are cheaper brand inserts and they're almost like plastic. Now those I would not recommend. Those will crack. Those are, in my opinion, junk. But yeah, the Atlas brand Whitewall inserts, they are true rubber, flexible rubber, similar to what the tire is made out of, and I've had no issues with them, and I've ran them in multiple vehicles for years, and even on a lot of customers' cars. So again, hopefully this was educational for you. Hopefully you learned a lot from it. If you have, please like and subscribe down below, and I will see you on the next episode. Peace.